This day in sports history. It's March 18th. You've got your brackets filled out, and you're ready for the first 4 games to start tonight. Well, let's go back to this day in 1993 when Santa Clara busted a whole lot of people's brackets as the Broncos pulled one of those 15-2 upsets. The Santa Clara Broncos were an 18-win team that had finished 3rd in the West Coast Conference in the regular season that year, and they were here by virtue of winning the conference tournament. Now, this team featured a baby-faced freshman by the name of Steve Nash, a kid who averaged 8 points and 2 assists during the year. He didn't start in this one. John Willie was the starting point guard on the team, but Nash came up big in the end. On the other side of the court, Arizona knew better than to take any team lightly, though they probably did not expect to get struck by lightning for the 2nd year in a row. The Wildcats had been knocked out of the first round the previous year by 14th-seeded East Tennessee State. Arizona had a starting lineup of guys who would play in the NBA, including Damon Stoudemire and Chris Mills, and a 6th coming off the bench. But Santa Clara jumped on the Cats early and led by as many as 13 in this one. Arizona went on a 25-0 run at the end of the first half and at the beginning of the second to take a 12-point lead. But the Broncos didn't fade. They fought back. With just over a minute to play and up 1, the Broncos got a big bucket from another freshman.
Nash, the dish. Lewis, good fake. Oh, it doesn't go. Reese, done. Got it. Kevin Dunn, the freshman, with the biggest basket of his young life.
The Wildcats had to resort to fouling, and Nash kept getting the ball, going to the free throw line, and making shots. He hit 8 straight to keep extending the lead. But after Mills reined in a 3 to make it a 3-point game, Nash faltered on the line and he missed a pair. But Santa Clara rebounded the second miss, and the other freshman, Kevin Dunn, went to the line. But he missed 2, giving Arizona a shot to tie it.
Missed it. Rebound Stoudemire. Arizona's got a chance. Stoudemire. No. Checked out. Santa Clara wins.
Let's rewind the clock a decade to 1983. And on this day, NC State was in a first-round battle for its life against Pepperdine. The last time we caught up with the Cardiac Pack was in the ACC tournament when they managed to beat Virginia to win the automatic bid, which was going to be the only way they made it to the big dance. So here, Jim Valvano's team traveled to Corvallis, Oregon to play Pepperdine. Now, State was a 6 seed, the Waves were an 11 as winners of the West Coast Conference Tournament. Now, you may also remember there being a shot clock and a 3-point shot used in the ACC tournament. But because it was a trial year in different leagues and not adopted everywhere just yet, the NCAA tournament had no shot clock and no 3-pointer. And so this game became a slowdown game. With 2:40 left to play in regulation, it was 47-all, and neither team would score again. The Pack held the ball for the final 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the game and did not get a shot off. And so they went to overtime. The teams actually got to shooting in the OT, and with a minute left, Pepperdine was up 6, and they had the ball, but they threw it away on the inbounds, and State got 2 back quickly. The Waves had a chance to win it on the free throw line, but a miss on the front end of a 1-and-1 gave the Pack another shot, and a Thurl Bailey dunk made it a 2-point game. Another front-end 1-and-1 was missed, and State had the ball with a chance to tie. Derek Wittenberg was the beneficiary of a phantom call, and he went to the line for a 1-and-1 with 9 seconds left.
Derek Wittenberg.
Wittenberg will be on the line. He missed the free throw, and there with the rebound, and the ball drops. It's good by Cozell McQueen. We have a tie at 59. 3 seconds to go. Dane Suttle loses his balance, and we go into double overtime.
And in the second OT, it was a bit more of the same. Terry Gannon had a chance to put the game out of reach on the free throw line, but missed the front end of his 1-and-1 opportunity.
Terry Gannon. This is the free throw. 9 seconds to go. The Waves will try to send it into 3 overtime. Wilson fires it up.
Got it. No.
No, it's off. No good.
That's how close to losing in the first round the eventual national champion Wolfpack came on this night in 1983. Hey, real quick, you've heard me talk a lot about the Sterling Soap Company over the past few months, and if you haven't tried out their soaps, I get it. It's not easy changing up your routine. But let me just say, if you give them a try, I'm nearly 100% certain you will have zero regrets. They carry not only bar soap, but shave soap, liquid body soap, body lotions, beard balm, lip balm, and a lot more. Plus, there are myriad scents to choose from. Their products are made with natural ingredients and scented oils, and they are committed to being environmentally conscious. And I always get a handwritten note on my packing slip, so I know it's been checked before shipping, and it's a nice little human touch in a world that seems to be going away from that. Give Sterling Soap a try today at sterlingsoap.com. On this day in 1990, it was the highest scoring game in NCAA basketball tournament history. It was a second-round matchup between the 11-seed Loyola Marymount and the number 3 seed Michigan. And of course, this is just 2 weeks after LMU's Hank Gathers had collapsed on the court during the West Coast Conference Tournament and then died in the hospital a few hours later. The Wolverines were the defending national champions. In the 1990 season, Michigan had been in the top 25 all year, peaking at number 3 before entering the tournament as the 13th best team in the country, according to the AP poll. They had 5 future NBA players on the roster, including 3 first-rounders in the draft that was still a few months away. On the other bench, the Lions were obviously missing Gathers, who had led the nation in scoring and rebounding in 1989. But if you remember from the March 4th edition, Bo Kimball had been the leading scorer for Paul Westhead's run-and-gun high-octane style. But one guy that I did not mention back on the 4th who played a huge role in this game was Jeff Fryer. During the regular season, Fryer had been the 3rd leading scorer on the team behind Kimball and Gathers, hitting an average of about 4 3-pointers a game. Well, Fryer had that by the 8:38 mark in the first half.
Fryer open top of the key. Fryer drains another 3, and it's 33-24. But here come the Lions. Jeff Fryer is on fire here in the first half. He has 21.
The teams averaged a shot every 6 seconds in the first half, and they combined to score 123 points in the opening 20 minutes, with Loyola Marymount leading 65-58 at the break. But if the first half was a track meet, the second half was a Formula One race. The pace quickened and points poured in. The Lions had 84 in the second half alone and started to pull away with about 14 and a half minutes to play.
Outlet for Kimball, who tracks it down. Fryer out of the corner. He will nail that shot all day long. He has 27 out of bounds, and it belongs to Loyola Marymount.
Fryer continued his hot shooting, finishing with a game-high 41 points. He hit 11 three-pointers, which is still the NCAA tournament record for threes in a game. Kimball had 37, including 1 point off of his left-handed free throw in tribute to his lost friend Hank Gathers. In total, 10 players scored in double digits as Marymount beat Michigan 149-115, which adds up to 264 points, the most combined in an NCAA tournament game. The mark eclipsed the total from the Lions game against Wyoming 2 years prior in the tournament. In fact, Loyola Marymount has been in the top 5 highest-scoring NCAA tournament games. On this day in 1953, the Braves moved out of Boston. The Braves had ties to Boston going all the way back to 1876 as a charter member of the National League and had shared the town with the Red Sox since 1901. But Braves owner Lou Perini said that since the advent of television, Boston had become a one-team city. Not exactly sure what he meant by that, but the Braves had definitely fallen behind the Red Sox in attendance. In 1952, the Braves drew 800,000 less fans to their field than the Red Sox did to Fenway, with Perini's losses estimated at $700,000. Perini was granted permission by the commissioner and the other National League owners to relocate. He paid $50,000 to move the Braves' minor league team, the Milwaukee Brewers, to Toledo, Ohio, and then set up his team in County Stadium. It was the first baseball landscape change since 1903, when Baltimore moved to New York to become the Highlanders. The move was a big deal for the people of Milwaukee. They had not had Major League Baseball since the original Brewers left in 1901 to become the St. Louis Browns. The city embraced the Braves, who won 92 games in '53 and finished second in the National League, and they led the league in attendance. The relationship was short-lived, though. The Braves would be on the move again in 13 years. On this day in 1985, Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle were reinstated by new baseball commissioner Peter Ueberroth. Mays and Mantle had been permanently banned from baseball by the previous commissioner Bowie Kuhn for their associations with casinos after they retired as players. Mays was working as a hitting coach with the New York Mets when Kuhn found out Mays was working at Bally's Park Place Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. Kuhn forced him to resign from his Mets job and then banned him for life. A few years later, Mantle needed money, and so he took a job as a greeter at the Claridge Casino in Atlantic City. He felt like the Mays ban was a bit of a joke. Kuhn wasn't laughing, though, and he banned the Mick, too. Kuhn was big on protecting the integrity of the game, and no player or coach, present or past apparently, should have any affiliations with casinos. Upon his reinstatement on this day, Mantle said, "I tried to act like it didn't bother me, but it did. You don't want to be kicked out of your favorite bar, and you don't want to be banned from baseball." Kuhn wasn't big on Ueberroth's decision, and it wasn't like the new commission was lenient on gambling or associations with casinos, but he felt that the two meant too much to the game to keep them permanently sidelined. Mantle never returned to any job with a major league club. Mays, however, did sign on as the special assistant to the president in San Francisco. And time now for today's That's Got Nothing to Do with Sports fun fact. Alexander Sakharov's film titled Russian Ark was released in 2002. The entire movie is one long, uninterrupted 96-minute Steadicam shot. There were no cuts and no edits, meaning no room for error. If there was a mistake at some point, even if it was at minute 95, the movie would have needed to be shot again from the beginning. This has been an original Thrive Suite production.